Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray with the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. We're already breezing into the last segment on this July the 17th, 2021. Talking summertime crappie fishing, and again, we don't want you to forget, don't forget to get Frank back on the line for us, too, if you would. Yeah, we're going to get Frank Barton. He is our co-host, and he's over working his dogs on Crowley's Ridge over there in Arkansas, but we're going to get him back on. But we're going to wrap up the show with the man that probably one of the first guys I fished with. He was just a kid then, I think. But when I took over as outdoor editor to the Commercial Appeal and followed Henry Reynolds, which was impossible, one of the first places I ended up was on Reelfoot Lake, and I think I was in a boat with Billy Blakley. I don't know, but I think he was just toddling, just a little fella running around. Now he's a big man up there now. I mean, he's probably going to have his own TV show for long. So
a legend.
He's a legend in his own mind. I mean, in his time. So, Billy Blakley, how you doing, buddy?
Well, if I was any better, I couldn't stand it.
I know it. You folks, you need to be on Facebook with Billy and, of course, all the great folks at Blue Bank Resort. So, Frank Barton, you back on the line with us, buddy?
I am back.
All right. We got Billy Blakley on with us from Reelfoot Lake, and I wanted Frank to listen to this last interview, and Frank will close out the show with us. Frank would normally be our co-host on this, but we gave him a chance because Billy, he's working his dogs right now. He's into dog training, and so let's talk summertime crappie fishing with Billy Blakley. All right. Now, a lot of folks, as we've talked about on this show today, think you can only catch crappie in the fall and spring, and whether you use minnows or crankbaits or whatever, or jigs. So, Billy, let's talk with you about summertime crappie fishing on Reelfoot Lake. Can you catch crappie in the summer on Reelfoot Lake?
Yes, sir. We caught them today.
Okay.
We catch them.
How?
We've been just live scoping.
There we go. We ain't even got 30 seconds into this interview, and this word live scope comes up again. I mean,
hey, it changed summertime fishing big time now.
In what way?
Well, it's more like a video game now than fishing. You can sit there and watch that fish on that screen.
Yes.
And you can take and everybody knows in the summer, crappie don't chase. They sit there next to cover and hold tight.
Okay.
So when you can see that cover and you can take that jig and put it on the end of his nose, well, that'd be like me sitting in a recliner and me hanging a steak over in front of you, pecking you on the nose, even though you ain't hungry. You peck it enough, you're going to bite it.
Does it matter what color it is?
Well, now that it does on them, but not to me.
Okay, it doesn't to you. It doesn't matter to you. So the live scope, we've talked to Caps and we've talked to Tim Blakley, and Tim, I think Caps, I think he has 4. Blakley may have 5. I don't know.
I don't doubt that one bit.
Yeah. So, but what has it done to crappie fishing?
Well, it has turned a lot of people that don't know how to fish to real good fishermen because they sitting there looking at them. And I mean, like yesterday when we was out,
yes,
we got out there with a 1/8 ounce jig. Had to drop down to a 1/16 before we could really bite them. But I mean, they there. You aggravate them enough, they're going to bite. It has changed up crappie fishing tremendously. Used to, you say crappie fishing, everybody looked at everybody's boat. They had 9 or 12 poles across the front, spider rigging.
Yes.
Now everybody has 1 or 2 poles in a boat for one pole each person.
Yeah, I asked him, does he still use 8 poles in his boat? Like he was noted as the spider rigging man. Not anymore. He doesn't need 8 out there because he's got live scope, and we've called it target fishing. Is that right? Would you?
That's it. You just go up through there looking at all these crappie. After you do it long enough, you can tell the small one from the big one. And you spot you a big one, go over there and make him bite. And you don't have to fool with a little one.
Now, you just mentioned once you learn it a little bit, this is not something, as we've talked about, that you can get on a Friday night and put it on a Saturday morning and use it.
No, sir.
So how long have you been live scoping?
It'll take you in 3 months you'll get to where you halfway understanding it. 6 months you'll get to where you
6 months. 6
where
months.
you think you know what's going on.
All right,
It'll really take you about a year before you really know what's going on.
All right, let me ask. We got Mike Parker here. He lives locally. He's trying to teach my friend Robbie Jordan about live scoping. Now, how long have you had your live scope, Mike?
I started out with a small unit, and I was still pushing minnows, and it does help. It helps the trollers now. You can see a fish, and you can turn toward him, and so you can somewhat target fish. So I would definitely recommend it. Does help the trollers also. But I really didn't get into it till probably about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Single pole fishing.
All right.
And for probably 2 months, I was lucky to catch a fish.
Okay, you hear that, Billy? I mean,
yes, sir.
And that's
I'm a little slower than he is.
Yeah, he's a little slower than you. So when you get it, does it come with instructions?
It needs to, big time.
I can imagine you got to watch YouTube videos.
And it's a lot, just the settings. There's just so many different things that are variables, and you have to adjust every day. Even when you're fishing, you got to adjust it. You move from different parts of the lake, different times of the day. You've got to adjust it.
Well, Billy, you hear that?
Yep, that's true.
That's true. And that is true. And you've been fishing, I don't know, out of Blue Bank for a long time, and now you're the manager or whatever you are of all the fleet of guys up there that work for Mike and all the gang. You fish with all the legendary people in your career, and here we come to 2021, and we've been through a pandemic. We've had people just now craving to get outdoors. And what do they say when they've never seen a live scope before and they get in that boat and you're saying, yeah, watch the screen? I mean, what's the reaction to people that never seen this before?
They don't know what they're looking at. The first thing you say, well, what is what?
You do, right. Yeah, so how do you explain that to them?
Well, I just tell them this is a fish, this is wood, this is a limb. I said, that's just the way it's going to stay all day long. You're going to have to learn what's a fish. And I said, I'll point him out, and your lure, you take it right over to him.
Now, summertime crappie fishing on Reelfoot Lake now. Talk about the difference between now and other times of the year. What are you doing now different?
Well, now you're strictly live scoping. I mean, you get out there dragging them poles around like we used to, you might catch 4 or 5 fish a day, or you can go out there and get your limit. Right now, live scoping. And you're taking the lure right to the fish instead of dragging it by them. Because like today, if you were 6 inches... Yesterday, if you were 6 inches from him, he wouldn't run out there and bite it. You had to put it up there within an inch of his nose. And now you can do that.
That's just amazing. I mean, that you could put that lure 1 inch from his nose. Like you're shaking
your head. Yes, sir, it is.
You're shaking your head, Robbie. I mean, it's pretty amazing what you've got.
Well, you can tap him on the nose if you want to.
If you want to.
Well, we've done that to a bunch of them.
So what's next? I mean, you've been the dean, and you've been doing this for so long. What's next? I mean, is this it? I mean, is everybody gonna go by you with a live scope? Of course, they're gonna have to get it on terms. I mean, a lot of people, because equipment is not cheap. So talk about the future of this.
Well, the only thing I can see any further than this, they're going to have to make a pole that catches them for you.
Okay. And you're probably mentioning, you're thinking of me, right? I mean, I know that.
No, I'm thinking of me.
Oh, well, you're thinking of you. Yeah. What you going to say, Robbie?
I was just going to ask Billy, the thing that really concerns me in the future, what is this going to do to, let's just say, TWRA or Mississippi Game and Fish, the creel checks from the colleges? How's live scope's going to change? After a while there won't be no more fish.
You're exactly right, and I don't think about that. My outlook on it is, if I wander through there and pick out the big one and leave the little one, I mean, everybody taking out big fish, say 100 boats a day doing that, and they all getting their limit. That's a bunch of fish that didn't used to come out of that lake that ain't going to be there this fall or next spring.
Brood fish.
And it's got to hurt somehow.
It sure does.
And this has been brought up by people that I know that yes, this is where we are, but what does it happen down the road? And I know Billy's really concerned about that because we gotta make our kids fish and whatever it might be. But so what kind of summer fishing have we had, Billy, before we let you go? How's it been up there at Reelfoot?
It's been great. Bluegill's still great. Crappie's real good. Even catfishing good.
And the bluegill are great. I know that for a fact.
Bluegills are great.
Yeah. And again, Billy, I really hats off to you, buddy, for Legend of the Outdoors coming up and knocking on your door. I mean, it's well-deserved. You've meant a lot to this old man right here over the years, and we've had a good relationship, and always good to talk to you, man. So you tell everybody hello for me up there, and tell them I still wear a size large T-shirt. Okay, they gave me a medium the last time I was there, and it just don't work anymore. It don't work.
They might have thought you lost a little weight.
No, I hadn't, Billy. No, it's going the other way, buddy. All right, Billy Blakley.
I know the feeling there, Larry.
Thank you, Billy. All right, buddy.
Thank y'all for everything.
Talk to you, lady. Billy Blakley.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, Frank, I wanted to close this out with you and thank Robbie and Mike for sitting in. I hope you've enjoyed it and listening to these two guys that we do every Thursday. Every Saturday. I make that sometimes. Every Saturday doing this, and Frank is always with the third Saturday. And I wanted to get an update, Frank. You kind of casually mentioned it earlier. Of course, Frank is a Marion businessman. You can go by Kubota's over there on the off-road while you're on the way to the Shake Shack. You can stop and see his son Franklin over there. I'm throwing that. Is that okay, Frank, if I mention that? So
you bet.
Oh,
sure it is.
Sure it is. Okay. I've got a collection of Frank Barton T-shirts, too, from over the years, too, for the other business. So you're working your dogs, Goose, and what's the other one's name? I forget. Yeah. Goose and what? What's the other? What's the dogs? Goose and what? Your dogs.
I got Hershey and Goose.
Hershey and Goose. Okay, now you said we have how many thousand dogs already in? 1,000?
About 1,040 dogs yesterday, and I'm expecting we'll be around 1,300 by the end of the month.
And the dates on that? When is the dates on that, Frank? National Master.
The event starts on September the 30th.
Okay.
And ends on October the 10th.
Well, we need to, if possible, for next month's show, Frank, with you, let's get somebody on with you for a segment to kind of get us ready for it, and then hopefully while you're out there, we'll be able to do it. If that'll fit with you, okay, for the August show?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I got plenty of people that we can put on there.
Yeah, let's and folks. Frank is the what's your secretary? What's your title here? I mean,
right. I'm the event secretary. So I spend all my time counting dogs, counting shells, counting people.
And
I just count for
you just count
a bunch.
And you're in Oregon.
I just count.
You're in Idaho, Oregon. Where are y'all this year? I forgot again.
McCall, Idaho.
Woo! McCall, Idaho. And Frank will be out there.
I don't know. I know about where it is. I know it's about 30 hours to get there. 30
hours to get there. Woo! And then it'll be dogs.
It'll be a little bit more than 30 hours. That's 30 hours if you're not traveling with dogs. If you're traveling with dogs, it takes longer.
Well, if anybody travels with dogs, it's Frank. That's right, because he's got dogs, that's for sure. And he is a duck hunter. Okay, so, Hey, Frank, thank you, buddy, for being with us. Hope it worked out all right for you. And you know what we do here. Robbie, Mike, thank you for being with us, too. Shelby, thank you, taking care of us and everything. And Frank.
Good to hear from you, Frank.
Yes, that was Robbie Jordan, and it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. But what else, Frank? God bless the USA.